something nobody wants to talk about, but everybody needs to talk about. Today is Tuesday. Today is Quentin and I's date day. Had a reminder pop up on my phone. I was laying in bed, sleeping in this morning. Definitely felt good. So here's the thing. I just kind of had a conversation a little bit with him this morning. And one thing that I was very thankful for my husband, he is always prepared. Always prepared with future things. So I want to ask you a question this morning. And that question is, if something unexpectedly were to happen in your life to a loved one or to yourself, to your loved ones, are you prepared? Do you have a will? Do you have a trust? Do you have something like that in place? Do you have the next steps for your loved one to know what to do? My husband was very prepared and he had all of that together. And some may think that's morbid, but he loved us so much to be able to prepare those things. And as morbid as you want to think it is, it's terrible, but it's definitely something that would help your loved one. So I'm going to encourage you, if you don't have that in place, put that in place. That's really important. It doesn't make things easy for the people that are left behind, but it helps them to take the next step. So today, my next steps are trying to make sense of all the mail that we're getting in, the bills. My husband paid all the bills and did all the finances in our house. And so I'm not ignorant of that, but it's a lot. We ran several different businesses. We have several different accounts for different things, and I just don't know how to make sense of all of it. Now, he has surrounded me with amazing people to help me to kind of navigate all of that, but I literally am so clouded, it's hard for me to understand it all. So I'm like making piles and trying to figure out drafts and what's coming in and what's going out and coming up with some sort of a budget. Now that I am a single mom, an unwanted single mom unexpectedly, I'm trying to figure out and navigate all of this. And so I encourage you, if you don't have something set up for you, or if your loved one doesn't, if you're a mom and a dad, encourage one another to do the hard thing and get things set up and talk to each other about what those next steps would be, so you know what other people's wishes would be. Would you know your loved one's wishes? And like I said, Quentin was so prepared when it came to long-term thinking and taking care of it. It was his love language to take care of those things so we didn't have to worry about it. But that doesn't negate all the worry. And so, you know, I'm still trying to figure out what bills need to be paid and what drafts are going out of what account and what money we actually have come. It's still nothing short of a nightmare, but at least having some of these things set up, it's just taken the guesswork out of it. No one, you know, it's just taken the decision out of it, which sometimes just making a decision is so incredibly difficult to do. So it doesn't make life easy, it just helps you take the next step. So on my phone it says, I have on my cover screen right now, it says, worry about nothing, pray about everything. And it's such a good reminder to me, because I literally woke up in a panic the other day thinking about bills. And so I know that's not from him. It's not from him. And so, so if you're laying there or you're up this morning having your coffee, it's a little bit late, so you're probably up and got the day started already. Just be reminded of Philippians 4:6. I'm going to read it to you. It says, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be known to God. So last night on the way home from the baseball game, we were up late and coming home, and I told my daughter, I was like, you know, I can't fill Dad's shoes, but what I can do is pray that God is my strength through my weaknesses, and that he fills in all the gaps that you kids need, and that your dad filled, and that you would send people surrounding us to fill those areas that your dad so greatly filled and proudly did. And so I may not be able to replace your dad, but I'm praying. Every time I worry less, pray more. Every time I worry, I just pray that whatever that worry is, I pray for someone to come into that place, not to replace their dad, not to replace my husband, but to provide support in an area that we need it the most, even when we don't need it, or even when we don't think we need it, that we would just have that reassurance that God's got us. So I'm praying that he fills in those gaps where I don't know what I'm doing. So when I'm making sense of all this paperwork in the office and all these bills and all these things that don't make any sense. Important notices I sent the day yesterday for about an hour at the Social Security office after lots of hours on the phone with them for my kids. It just seems so unfair for my oldest one not to get any sort of benefits from his father's death from Social Security because he's out of high school. But so just trying to figure out how to navigate all of that and trying to figure out what's fair as a mom and all the paperwork. So something as simple as sharing passwords, having somewhere where you can access each other's important financial documents. If you are not on shared accounts, make sure that both of your names are on accounts. We had a couple of bills with just Quentin's name in them, like utilities and such. So I had to go. That was a little bit of a hang up, not a huge nightmare, but a little bit of a hang up. So just making sure that everything has both of your names on it, that all your financial documents have both of your names on them, so they don't get tied up in probate, and that you can have access to them. So again, a reminder, worry less, pray more. And if you don't have something in place, you never know when that sunset's gonna happen in your life. Get prepared, be prepared, if anything, for your loved ones.